Sharing audio on social media is really kind of a bummer thing because it's so hard to do in a way that people actually get what it is you're sharing and that they have something even to listen to. Well, today I'm talking with Baird Hall of Wavve, and they have come up, they're not the first ones, but they've come up with a way to make this happen that's beautiful. You're going to want to hear this. My name is Kerry Green, and I am the client happiness guy at podcastfasttrack.com, and this is Podcastification. This show is all about podcasting. How to do it, how not to do it, best practices, interesting news items that have to do with the realm of podcasting, and who knows what else. And I'm trying to do it all with a little bit of fun and some information to help you get a show going, keep yours going, or make it better. And if you like what's going on here on the show, I would appreciate it, so appreciate it, if you could leave a rating or review on iTunes. You can find out how to do that at podcastfasttrack.com/review. That's enough of that kind of stuff. Let's get you podcastificated right away. Well, it's always exciting to learn about new apps and to learn about new ways of promoting your podcast, wouldn't you say? And I've got a guy on the line with me today who is kind of heading up a company that's doing just that. His name's Baird Hall. Baird, how are you doing today?
Hey, Kerry, thanks for having me. I'm doing really well. I love the podcast. I'm a regular listener, so I feel very honored to be on the line and chatting with you.
Well, you are very kind to say that. I appreciate it. Now, tell me the story behind your name, Baird. Is that a family name? That's not a common one, that's for sure.
It is a family name from my mother's side, and it originates from Scotland. And my mother has actually tracked our genealogy all the way back to the 1600s. And
Wow.
So it was, the family started in Scotland and then was in Northern Ireland before they came to the U.S. And I am one of 6 and 5 other sisters. So I am one of the last to pass the name on.
Yeah, well, super cool. Well, where are you in the world right now?
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So we're on
Charleston,
the East Coast.
South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here for about 8 years now. I grew up in Kentucky and moved here after college and just fell in love with it. I actually met my wife the first week that I was here and got a job the first week I was here in tech, and haven't looked back. It's a beautiful town. If any listeners haven't been here, put it on the to-do list for traveling. It's got history and obviously the beaches and a lot of amazing restaurants is kind of what it's known for.
Wow. And you don't sound like you're from Charleston at all.
No.
Yeah. I have a sister that lives, or a sister-in-law lives in North Carolina. And my goodness, what an accent.
Oh, it's a draw, isn't it?
It is crazy. All right, Baird. Well, I think that's enough just to let us know a little bit about you. I'm glad to hear you're happily married and love where you live. Let's dive into Wavve. Now, it's spelled Wavve. I think it's kind of funny how modern apps have to change spellings, and I'm not criticizing it all. I just,
there's too many of them these days, and then you kind of have to do it to set yourself apart.
There's a whole slew of them that like leave out vowels, and that drives me nuts because I don't know how to say it then. At least Wavve I can still say. So Wavve is a social sharing app that puts motion graphics and audio together and enables you to share on various platforms. So that's my novice definition of what Wavve is. Why don't you give us your elevator pitch or your best spiel on what is Wavve?
Sure. Yeah. So Wavve, it's an online tool. It's a web application that makes it easy to turn audio clips into videos for social media. So you can add custom background images and also add waveform animations that help catch the attention of social feed viewers, and it helps highlight your audio on social media. Most primarily is used by podcasters, but also musicians and different types of marketers. But the goal is to, if you have audio content and an image, we help you create beautiful social videos that you can put on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, even Instagram stories and Snapchat. We have different video sizes that are optimized for whichever channel you're sharing to. So we're really passionate about helping people share their voice and share their message out. And if you have audio content, it can be a great fit for that.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question about that. You said to catch people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
if something from Wavve is shared on, let's just say Facebook, is that a motion graphic as someone scrolling through their feed, or is it one of those that says, what is it, GIF or GIF across the middle of it that they have to click on to make it move?
So it's an MP4 video file that gets natively uploaded to social media. Natively means that it's actually being uploaded to Facebook servers, not just shared through a link. And the important reason for that is that it will autoplay on social media. So when someone's scrolling through their Facebook feed and they see a video that you created with Wavve, it's automatically playing, and it has waveform animations, a lot of different styles and colors, and you can place it wherever you want. And that audio waveform animation is what catches people's eye and lets them know that, hey, this video includes sound, and they can click on it and actually listen to it. And actually, Facebook's been experimenting with not just auto-playing videos, but auto-playing them with the sound on, so the audio can automatically be playing for the social feed viewer. So it's a great way to, take a clip from the podcast. It's a lot of times it's used to highlight, a quote that a guest has said, or maybe a specific highlight, or, really funny conversation that was going on in the podcast, or impactful moment, and get that on social media to grab people's attention.
I am excited about that. It sounds pretty cool because audio is one of those things that can be a little difficult to share because most of the media out there is visual in nature. And so let's flip that coin kind of backwards. And I'm going to ask you to do something on this audio podcast that actually would probably be easier visually. But I want you to describe for me, if a person is going into the Wavve web app and is going to create their first video, what are they going to see? How is it going to work? And what is the result?
Yeah, sure thing. So one of the big advantages of Wavve is that it allows you to set up templates, and we call them cards within the application. So your card template is essentially the combination of an image, your sound wave animation, and text. So when you create your template, we offer it's a drag and drop interface. So if you've ever used Canva or any of these popular image editing applications where you can drop things into a canvas and save it or export it, it's really a similar process. So you can upload your own image. If you're already doing a podcast episode promo image, then you're already a step ahead of the game. You can just upload that directly and create a template from that, and then add your animations, additional text. And then when you save that template, all you have to do is upload your audio file and then pick that specific clip that you want to turn into a video using that template. And the templates also, as I mentioned earlier, allow you to set up videos for different platforms, whether it be a vertical video for Snapchat or Instagram stories, which Instagram stories is really interesting place to promote podcast audio now. It's very new. People are trying to figure out, or maybe a square template for Instagram. But you can actually save these templates and just edit them over time, and it makes it really easy to come back, make a quick change to your template for your latest episode, and then create another clip from that. So that's kind of the process. The two steps is one, to create and save your template, and then actually upload the audio file to create a video from it.
Okay, so when you upload the audio files, like you mentioned, do you have to do that like a separate step for Facebook, a separate for Instagram, or can you do tick boxes and say, do this on all of these at once?
You would need to create different templates. For example, if you were going to do a Facebook, maybe a square video and then a horizontal video for YouTube, you would create two different templates from that, but you would upload your audio file once, and then you would just create it once, select that template, click generate, and then after it's done, you could just do the same process again with the other template. So it's not going to do them exactly at the same time, but you can do them right back to back pretty quick after it's set up.
And that's because you already have the audio uploaded.
Yep.
All right, cool. So a question about that audio piece then. Is that something where, say, I wanted to take a piece of this conversation that you and I are having, and I want to use it in Wavve to create one of these motion videos? Is that something where I need to pick the soundbite myself, edit it in Audacity or whatever I'm using, and then use that as my upload? Or can I upload a bigger piece and then edit it within Wavve?
You could do it either way. So you can upload your full podcast episode. You just need the MP3, M4A, or Wavve file. Those are the different file sizes that we support. So you could upload the whole episode, and Wavve provides a nice little trimming feature where you can actually zoom in or manually enter the start and end times, or drag and select to it. There's a few different ways to do it. And then Wavve can select that specific segment yourself. But we do have some podcasters that they're already in Audacity, and they're creating their finished product, and they in that process, we'll just, export a couple clips from there. So it's whatever you're comfortable with. You could really go either route.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So let me push into that just a little bit more. Say I uploaded the longer version and I zoom in and get that piece that I really want, and then I create my wave from there. Is that a destructive kind of edit where I could not go back and then grab a different clip from that same audio? Or is it something where I can use the same longer piece over and over and just take clips from it?
Yep, you could use that longer piece and create multiple clips from it. So you create your first segment and create a video, and then you'll be dropped back to that same process. And you could just, slide to another 30-second or, maybe 1 minute clip and create another one. So definitely a lot of our users, they'll create 2 or 3 videos from each episode back to back. And it makes it pretty easy to do that.
Yeah, that seems a lot smarter to me than trying to pick them out, while you're in your editor or whatever, just because, additional steps and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm a process guy. So if I can streamline the process, my goodness, I'm going to do that.
Definitely.
So Baird, tell me, how did you get interested in this kind of thing? Were you podcasting prior to this?
It's an interesting and a little bit of a long story, but to give you the short version of it, we were working on another product last year, a different company. It was in the social audio space. We had mobile apps that allowed users to submit and talk to each other with short 1-minute audio clips. It was kind of like Reddit for audio. It got pretty popular, but we got to a point where we had a similar problem that a lot of podcasters had, is that we had tons of audio sitting around, just, posted up on a web page that we had like 300 hours of audio sitting on our servers. And we had this thought that, if we could just get this audio on social media, we could use it to engage our followers and, let people hear quick snippets so that they understand, hey, this content's really engaging or informative or fun or whatever it may be that we're trying to promote. But we realized pretty quickly that there was really not a good way to do it, that, you can put an MP3 link on Facebook or Twitter, but then people have to click to actually go to the full content. And, social media is just not built for long form content. It's just really hard to do, and it's hard to keep people around that long. So our thought was, hey, let's just get short clips of this on social media and catch people's attention, include a link to the full content, and, help drive activity. And so we actually built Wavve internally as a marketing tool to promote our own audio content. We weren't podcasting, but it was a pretty similar problem that we were trying to solve. And it did not take long until podcasters started emailing us and saying, hey, I don't really care about the app you guys are working on, but help me create these videos. And we started helping people on a one-off basis, and the light bulb kind of went off that, hey, we could turn this into a product that self-service and make it really easy for podcasters to get started and create this content to really solve the same problem that we are.
Yeah, when you have people knocking down your door asking you to take their money, it's a good idea to do it. Figure out a way to make that happen. Well, I appreciate that. I love apps that are built out of need and built out of necessity. There's too many out there that someone just said, hey, this would be a good idea. And turns out after they create it, it's not really that good of an idea because nobody wants it.
Well, it's funny. That was the situation that we were in, is the previous company and product we were building. It was kind of our own idea that we came up with. And I wouldn't call it a failure. It definitely found some success, but exactly, it's kind of have to put things out there and interact with people and listen to people, and you'll figure out what people really want. I think that's a great lesson for podcasters that are getting started as well. Is, sometimes you need to get started, you need to put content out there, drive a little bit of activity, and get some feedback on what people want, and try and focus on that niche.
Yeah, that is a great word, Baird. I appreciate you sharing the lessons learned from the business journey. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about how this works in terms of your different plans that you have. I'm looking at your pricing page, and it shows 4 different plans. You've got the free, the alpha, the beta, the gamma. The free is $0 a month. Did you hear that, folks? $0 per month. Podcasters, man, we can be pretty chintzy people. I just know that myself because, you're doing this as a passion project or a hobby. And so free is always a good price. Now, this one says, I'm going to read the bullet points and then you can kind of define those for us.
Sure.
It says, create and edit 1 custom card design. So there's 1 custom card design. Create 1 minute of video monthly, a 12-second video clip limit, and Facebook and Twitter sharing features. So walk through those for me. Let's start with the create and edit 1 custom card design. Is that the template you were talking about?
It is. Yep. So you can have 1 template saved to your account at a time. Now, what a lot of people don't know, and we're trying to get the messaging right on that, is you can actually redesign that one template as many times as you want. After you create a Wavve clip for podcast episode 45, you can just redesign it for using your image for episode 46. But that's just one concurrent template saved on your account at one time.
I see. Okay, so you can just create one template, reuse it over and over for different episodes, and that would work just fine. Now, the next one says create 1 minute of video monthly. So I'm assuming if you do recreate the template over and over, you still have to fall beneath that 1 minute mark during a month's time. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. Yep. And that's where, unfortunately, the server costs come in and we have to limit usage a little bit. But if you're doing weekly podcasts, that can be a tough plan to fit into. But, if you're doing one podcast a month, that would allow you to create, 4 12-second clips and to be able to share those out. So yeah, the 1 minute, that's total as well. So you can use up to a minute per month, and then that gets refilled every month with your free account.
Okay. And so you mentioned the next bullet point, the 12-second video clip limit. So that's per clip that you create.
Yep. And that's one that's probably subject to change. We're kind of always tweaking that a little bit to see, what is the right length for the free tier, and is 12 seconds too short? A lot of people somewhere between 12 and 25, 30 seconds. You do want to keep it short on social media. It also depends on which platform you're sharing to. So I'd put an asterisk by that one, because that's one that may be subject to change.
Yeah, I get that. You always got to be iterating, don't you?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and you've got Facebook and Twitter sharing features there. So straight out of the dashboard, they can share that to Twitter or Facebook.
You can integrate directly with your Facebook account and also your pages as well, which is really important. So if you manage a page for your company, you can connect to that as well as Twitter, and you can share it directly to Facebook or Twitter, but you can also download it, and you can also share it manually, wherever you want. Yeah.
Okay. So back to the system, you have to take an extra step there if you're going to do that, which makes sense to me. Now, on the Facebook thing, you mentioned pages as well as personal profile. Is there any way to share into groups?
I don't think Facebook supports that. That's a good question, though, but there's not a way to post directly to groups from an automated standpoint. Now, of course, you could always download it. If you manage a group for your podcast community, you could always download it and post it directly, or you could post it to your page, jump into Facebook, and then use Facebook's little share tool to post it into the group. Might be an option as well.
That's a brainstorm. That doesn't take much. Okay, let's go on to the alpha. It's $10 a month. So all you podcasters out there who are like coffee addicts, that's just 2 coffees a month, man. So that's not much. It says you can create and edit up to 3 custom card templates. So 3 templates. I think that's pretty clear. You can generate up to 10 minutes of video per month. So that's a pretty generous amount, I think. And then extended video clip limit. Walk me through that, Baird. What does that mean?
Yeah, this is a tricky one, because the clip limit can really, we can create clips up to 30 to 45 minutes long. Most people are not doing that. Some people do want to turn their whole video, their whole episode into a Wavve video, which between 30 and 40 minutes is about where Wavve starts to, it can take a long time for that to generate. Just because the animations that we create, we've done it in a very high quality fashion. So it turns out to be a big audio file. Anything from 1 minute to 15 minutes will process pretty quickly. So that's why we're a little ambiguous based on the exact clip limit, because it can depend on the quality of your background image, how large your animation is, can change a little bit how long that video is going to take to create.
Right. Okay. That makes total sense. And then it also says SMS download notification. So I'm assuming you start it rendering or processing, and then you can leave, and it'll message you when it's done.
Yeah, it'll actually send a text message with the video to your phone. And the big reason that we do that is to share to Instagram. I would say that's probably, if I had to pick one of the biggest drivers for people signing up for Wavve, it's they want to get their podcast clips on Instagram. And obviously you have to turn it into video to do that. Instagram's a little tough because it won't let us integrate directly with their API to post automatically like Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
So you need to get the video on your phone. So that's how we implemented the text feature, that you can hit a button and text the video. It pops up on your phone, and then you can share it directly into Instagram or whatever platform, or wherever you want to share it directly from your phone.
Yeah. Okay. So your insights into that are really helpful there. And let me ask you a question as far as what your users are finding most helpful in that regard. Instagram doesn't allow you to post clickable links within a particular share. So most people will put that link in their profile or something. So are you seeing users go and modify their profile link before they share this so that they can say, click on the link in the profile?
Yep, exactly. They're updating that profile link to have, and usually using something like Bitly. Another one that's interesting is Linktree. You can search for that. That's another startup with a weird spelling. I don't know exactly how it's spelled, but you can look up Linktree or Bitly or any short linking service that can just make it a little bit easier to condense that link down and put it in your Instagram profile so that people can click on that. Something else that our users are doing that is interesting is they're creating a kind of short link like that or something that's easily recognizable, and they're adding that into the video itself. So they're adding text to the video, whether it be in the background image or using Wavve. With Wavve, you can add text with custom fonts and designs, and actually spelling out that link in the video. So, telling people to go access that link or just type in the link on their own to go to the episode. But yeah, that's a great point. Instagram can be one of the best places to promote content. And the reason I love Instagram so much is it is one of the last safe places on social media. And the reason for that is I mentioned their API is not fully open, which means that there's not a lot of bots, there's not a lot of spammers, and it's mostly organic engagement on Instagram, which makes it very unique compared to a lot of the different platforms out there. So it's a great place to get your content. But the reason that it's so great is because it's not always that easy to get content there. So you kind of have to jump through a few hoops. But once you get, like you said, that process down and you're comfortable with it, it is such a great way to not only get people to see your content, but actually engage with it in the comments. And a lot of our podcasters, we'll follow them on Instagram, and they're just having great conversations with listeners in the comment section, going back and forth, and other listeners can see that and know that, hey, this isn't just something for me to listen to, but it could also be a community to join and something to be a part of. That's why I'm so interested and love Instagram, and it's something that we're really trying to make it easier and easier to get Wavve videos there.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. Now, there's one more feature here on the alpha pricing package that says save and access created videos to a My Videos page. So you actually get like a little archive of everything that you created.
Yep, exactly. So that way you don't have to, if you want to come back and reshare content later, which that's another tip for podcasters that I think goes unnoticed a lot, is when, if you have 100 episodes, if you're only promoting your most recent one, you can always go back and, repurpose that content and share it over and over again. Meet Edgar does a lot of studies on this. They're a social media scheduling tool, and most social media posts are only seen by about 6% of your followers. So that means just posting something once, you're missing out on 94% of your other followers. So that's one reason that we really want to save the videos for our users so they can always come back. They're not going to lose them, and we make sure to keep those up and available. Yeah,
that seems especially true for Twitter or Instagram. Because
definitely.
It's just this one big feed that keeps going, whereas Facebook kind of segments out by who looks at your stuff and clicks at your stuff the most. And
nobody really knows how those algorithms work. So, maybe you have a follower that loves your show and they have a huge following. And if you get a retweet from them, it can take off. But, maybe if the algorithm on this given day isn't tuned up right, maybe they won't see it. So it's a good reason to make sure that you're going back and sharing content. And I'm a big advocate of scheduling tools as well for social media. It's important to know that that's very different from just automating it and not having to put much thought into it and just blasting stuff out, but still being genuine and engaging, but setting up posts to be scheduled out to make sure that you can always go back and reshare them after the fact too.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. All right, let's move on to the beta plan. It's $18 a month. Still not much, guys. I mean, come on, 3 coffees. It has all the features we just discussed. Plus, you can create and edit up to 6 custom templates, so your little portfolio is getting bigger, and you can generate up to 30 minutes of video per month. Man, that's very, very generous. Anything additional you want to say about that plan, Baird?
No, that's really how the pricing plans work. Is once we get into the beta and the gamma plans, it's really just based on how much you're saving in your account and how much video that you're creating. So you can always upgrade and downgrade based on your need. And we do have some users, they'll sign up and, the first month they'll go crazy with Wavve and they'll, backtrack a lot of their videos and, or their podcast episodes to create a lot of videos. And then as they get caught up, they might scale down to the alpha plan. So you can always bounce up and down, which is one of the great advantages of subscription applications.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And moving on to the gamma, it's $30 a month, has all the beta features. Okay. So everything we just talked about. You can create and edit up to 10 custom cards. So you can have 10 templates in there ready to go in case you have, one of those crazy people who has 10 podcasts that you're doing. And then you get unlimited video time per month and priority support. Tell me about that priority support. I'm learning from my own web ventures. Support is an important thing.
It really is. Yeah. We make sure that if you're on the Gamma plan, you'll get an answer within 4 hours. We're pretty responsive
4 hours?
regardless.
My goodness, do you guys not sleep and eat, or what happens here?
No, what's so great about technology these days is, if somebody sends in a support case, it pops up on my phone, it pops up on my laptop, I get an email. I mean, it's everywhere. So it's really hard for us to miss, and we'll do our best to respond as quickly as possible, even get on the phone with you, whatever we need to do to make sure that we take care of whatever issues are coming up. But yeah, that Gamma plan with the unlimited time, I'm surprised a lot more people don't take advantage of that, because you could we have some users, for example, that they'll take their hour-long episode and they'll split it up into 10 different segments, or maybe they have 2 different segments that are really important that are 5 to 10 minutes long, and they'll actually put those on YouTube as individual videos, which is an awesome place to get a lot of SEO benefits. So it's a great way to clip up your whole podcast into 5 to 10 minute segments and get those on different places to get more people viewing it.
Yeah, absolutely. My philosophy is the more legitimate places you can have your content out there on the internet, the more you're going to build your following, because there are people who use those other platforms that maybe aren't your favorite, but that's how they like to consume their content. So I haven't done much in this sense at all, but there's other video platforms out there besides just YouTube. I mean, YouTube's by far the biggest, but Vimeo and others that have great platforms and a lot of people use them. So if you've got the option, man, why not? Why not?
Yeah, LinkedIn's an interesting one. That they actually just added video support.
Yes, I noticed
native
that.
Video uploads. So that's one that is still pretty new. I think that was just 2 months ago that they started supporting that and rolling it out. But we have that's great for business podcasts. The LinkedIn is more of a professional community, but
Sure.
That's another great place that people don't think about, where they can actually get their podcast clips. If you have a shorter episode, you can get the full thing on LinkedIn. So that's another great place to think about.
Now, that's not something I was aware of. Maybe you've heard more than I have. My impression at first about LinkedIn video was that it was going to be similar to Facebook Live, where it was something you had to upload from your smart device and that kind of thing. Is that not what you've heard?
Yes, you do have to upload it from your smart device, but that's where our text feature comes into play. Wavve also emails the video that you create to your phone, so you can download the video onto your mobile device. So similar to Instagram, where ideally you need to get it on your actual mobile device to upload it, but same type of concept.
That's my version of an evil laugh. I got my plan going here. Okay, you've got me thinking, Baird. This is really cool. Now, a few times through our conversation, you have said we. I assume there's more than just you behind this. Tell us about your team.
It is. Yeah, we're a pretty small team. It's myself and a co-founder who is also here in Charleston. He prefers to be behind the scenes, more of the technical-minded individual. So it's myself and a co-founder, and then we have 2 developers as well that are working with us that are kind of across the country. So it's a small team, which we prefer it that way. And the big advantage that gives us is we can really be personal with our users. If you come to our website, you're probably going to get a message from me. And if you reply to that, we'll start in a conversation. If you sign up for Wavve, you'll get an email from me. And if you respond to that, I'll respond. So we love interacting with our users and doing everything that we can to listen to feedback and improve the product. So we have a lot of fun that way, and kind of it's the way we prefer it.
Yeah, and I might say you guys have a very sweet looking website. It's very
I appreciate that.
Very user friendly, very simple. I love the clean look of it. So you guys are rocking it there. So Baird, let me ask you this. I know no app is perfect. No app is ever complete. What are the things you guys are looking to improve or change in the near future?
I actually spent all of today working and testing out a brand new version of Wavve that we're implementing, this new dashboard view that just, if you haven't used Wavve, it won't make much sense, but it just makes it much more user-friendly, and it's a nice, easy one-page dashboard where you can access everything and create videos very quickly. We're always working on new animation styles. This was really interesting for us. We didn't really see this coming, but we found that a lot of our users, obviously branding is very important because you've worked really hard on your logo and, your images that you're already creating. And we found that our users love integrating animations with their existing designs. So we started out with just a few simple kind of, horizontal animations that, span from one side to the other, and you could move them around. But as we started doing different animation styles like circles and squares and different shapes, lines, we saw our podcasters really being creative about how they implement animations in their design to actually make it kind of feel integrated, which is really cool. And if you go to our Instagram page, it's a great place to kind of see some of these examples. So we're always working on new animation styles, and we've got some good projects coming up next month that are going to make videos more attractive, whether it be animated text and captions and different stickers and images that you can add, to kind of spice up the video and catch people's attention. So those are some of the different things that we're working on. And we love getting ideas from our users because that's the best way to get them. So we always love interacting with people that are using Wavve and hearing what they think.
Yeah, super cool. I love it. Well, Baird, I appreciate your time. And for the listeners, I'm going to have the link to the Wavve app and to all the social media profiles that they have, including their Instagram page, which Baird has mentioned a few times. I have all those in the show notes for this episode, which is episode 80. So you can find that at podcastfasttrack.com/80. Or, as I say every episode, if you're listening on a smartphone app, you can swipe some direction, left, right, up, down. You might have to stand on your head. But whatever you have to do to find the description, you'll find the show notes and the links in there as well. I've just become aware some podcast apps don't offer clickable links, which is very interesting to me. But anyway, we'll do an episode about that in the future. Baird, is there anything I am missing here that you need to say?
Head to wavve.co, wavv.co. You can check it out as we talked about. It has a free plan. All you need to do is put in your email and you can try it out, test it out, and connect with us. We love chatting with podcasters, and we love trying to find new ways to help you get your spoken content out on social media so we can spread it with the world. But really appreciate you having me on and being able to chat a little bit about Wavve.
Yeah, well, I love it. And let me correct something Baird said there. He said wavv.co, but it's vve.co.
Oh, yeah. Did I misspell my own URL?
Yeah, that's
gonna be
okay.
Tough to market that way.
That's okay. All three letters sound the same, so it rolls off the tongue very easily. So wavve.co, and you will find the Wavve app. Baird, I so appreciate your time, and I will link to this and promote it on social media, and I will let you know when all that's going to happen. And we will get the word out.
Awesome. We'll create some Wavve videos as well to help promote it. So keep an eye out for that.
That sounds super cool. And while we're at it, I'm going to commit myself to something here. I am at least going to jump on with the free plan and play around. And I'll make a screen share video for all you listeners of myself playing around with the app. So if you want to see that, you can do that. All right, Baird, thanks so much.
Great. Thanks, Gary.
So that's my conversation with Baird Hall of Wavve, wavve.co. Check out the show notes for this episode to see all the links to their social media profiles. I have tooled around on their Instagram page for a while, and it is pretty cool. Some of the actual little artwork and things podcasters are doing to get the word out about their show. I think I might even reach out to some of those podcasters just to ask questions about what kind of interaction they're getting and what sorts of benefit they're seeing. I really am intrigued by this because, as I said at the outset of the show, podcast promotion is difficult on social media because people don't recognize immediately that an audio link is an audio link. That's why I have appreciated things like Libsyn's integration to push your audio to Facebook as a video, because it's more obvious then that you can click on it and play something. So anyway, Baird, thank you so much. We're going to be linking to Baird and promoting what they're doing. I really love it. And they'll be doing the same for us. So thanks so much for your time today listening to Podcastification. You know what time it is, don't you? It's time to go make it a podcastificating day. This show is brought to you by Podcast Fast Track, where my team provides professional podcasting services without the time suck. Full production, editing, and show notes, all in one monthly subscription package. You can find out more at podcastfasttrack.com. Now go out and make it a podcastificating day.